Hello, parents, guardians, and families. I'd like to have the conversation I wish we could have tonight at Meet the Teacher Night. In this mini podcast episode titled Meet the Teacher, Miss Fiona will be representing you, the parent or guardian. I'll be representing me, Miss King, the teacher. Let's begin.
Well, first of all, thank you for joining us tonight. Parents always want to know who's going to be spending so much time with their child each day. So, Ms. King, before we talk about math, expectations, or even the military Class 6, tell us about yourself. Who are you, and what kind of teacher can families expect you to be?
Thank you for asking. My name is Deborah King, and I'm honored to be your child's third grade mathematics teacher. This is my 6th year teaching, which is why our classroom is proudly called the Military Class 6. I also serve in the Mississippi Air National Guard, and many of the values I bring into the classroom, integrity, service, teamwork, perseverance, and excellence, have been strengthened through both teaching and military service. I want families to know that while our classroom has a military theme, our mission isn't to prepare children for military service. Our mission is to prepare them for success in life. Every child who walks through my classroom door deserves to feel safe, respected, challenged, encouraged, and believed in. I believe every scholar can grow in mathematics when they're given high expectations, patient instruction, and a teacher who refuses to give up on them. When your child joins the Military Class 6, they aren't just joining another math class, they're joining a team. And my commitment is to help every scholar grow academically, build confidence, and discover that they truly can do hard things.
Wow, I really appreciate hearing your heart. I can already tell this is more than just a job for you. Now, I'm sure one question is on every parent's mind. Third grade is a very important year academically. Why is mathematics such a big focus in your classroom, and what should families expect?
That is an excellent question, Miss Fiona. Third grade math is one of the most important years in elementary mathematics because it's the year students move from learning basic skills to truly understanding how mathematics works. The concepts they learn this year become the foundation for fourth grade, fifth grade, middle school, high school, and even everyday life. Students will eventually take the state test, and for third grade, they need to score at 74% to be proficient in count. Our mission is not simply to prepare students for one test. Our mission is to help every scholar become a confident mathematical thinker who can solve problems, explain their reasoning, and believe in themselves. I maintain high expectations because I truly believe our scholars are capable of reaching them. But I also understand that every child learns differently. Some will master concepts quickly, while others may need additional time, encouragement, and practice. My commitment is to meet each scholar where they are and help them continue moving forward. Families can expect a classroom filled with encouragement, structured routines, engaging lessons, hands-on learning, daily review, and opportunities for every child to experience success. Most importantly, I want students to leave my classroom saying math isn't something to fear. It's something I could do.
I really appreciate that explanation. I can definitely see that the military theme is about character and teamwork, not just uniforms. But I have to ask the question I'm sure a lot of parents are wondering. Why the Military Class 6? What does that name really mean? And what will our children experience because of it?
I'm so glad you asked, because that's one of my favorite things to talk about. The Military Class 6 is much more than a classroom theme. It's a classroom culture. The word military, to me, represents the values I want every scholar to develop. Integrity, responsibility, teamwork, perseverance, respect, service, and excellence. Those are qualities that help children succeed not only in school, but throughout their lives. The number 6 has a very special meaning to me. This is my 6th year teaching as an educator, and it's also my 6th year serving in the Air National Guard. Those two callings have shaped who I am as a teacher. Now, parents, let me reassure you, you don't have to worry. When scholars walk into my classroom in the Military Class 6, they won't be marching around or doing military drills. Instead, they'll be encouraged to work together, think critically, solve problems, celebrate one another's successes, and never give up when learning becomes challenging. Every scholar is part of a team. Every team has a mission. Every mission has a purpose. Our mission is to simply grow in knowledge, strengthen our character, and become the very best version of ourselves. By the end of the school year, I don't just want students to remember multiplication or fractions. I want them to remember that they were capable of more than they ever imagined.
Alrighty then. Let's talk about behavior. Every classroom has expectations. What should parents know about the culture inside the military Class 6?
One of the things I want every family to know is that the Military Class 6 is a safe place to learn. I have very high expectations for behavior because every scholar deserves to come to school feeling respected, valued, and protected. Bullying, intimidation, harassment, or intentionally hurting another student, physically, verbally, or emotionally, is something I don't tolerate. I address those situations immediately because every child deserves an environment where they feel safe enough to learn and grow. I also take learning time very seriously. Every minute of instruction matters. While we certainly laugh, celebrate, and enjoy learning together, there's also a time to focus. When it's time to learn, I expect scholars to be attentive, participate, follow directions, and give their very best effort. My goal is to create a classroom that's both joyful and purposeful, a place where students know they're loved, but also understand that learning is our mission.
Sounds good. Miss Kane, I am glad you have those standards, and it gives me peace about the scholars in you class. Now tell me, speaking of learning, what should parents expect when it comes to homework and studying at home?
Homework will absolutely be part of our classroom routine because I believe learning doesn't stop when the dismissal bell rings. Homework is designed to reinforce skills we're learning in class and help scholars build confidence through consistent practice. Families should also expect study guides before math quizzes, benchmarks, and assessments. I also send home videos as well every week so your scholars are ready for the upcoming lesson. Families should also know that my goal is to never surprise students on a test. I want them to feel prepared. In addition to homework and study guides, I also send videos and other resources through ClassDojo so scholars and families can review concepts together at home. Parents, you don't have to know everything about math. All you need to do is simply encourage your scholar to complete their homework and review their notes and study guides. Those small moments make a huge difference.
Before we finish, there's one academic expectation you've mentioned several times throughout our conversation: scratchwork. Why is that such a big deal in the military Class 6?
I'm so glad you asked this, Miss Fiona, because this is one of the biggest expectations in my classroom. In the military Class 6, scholars are expected to show their work. Scratchwork is not optional. Third grade mathematics is much more than just getting the right answer. It's about learning how to think, solve problems, explain your reasoning, and develop mathematical confidence. Scratchwork helps scholars organize their thinking, slow down, catch mistakes, and explain how they arrived at their answer. It also allows me to see exactly where a scholar may need my additional support. Parents, one of the best questions you can ask at home isn't simply, did you get it right? Instead, ask, can you show me your work? Can you show me your thinking? Those simple questions reinforce exactly what we're practicing in the classroom. Our expectation is simple. Show your strategy, show your thinking, show your scratchwork. And it's also counted as a grade.
Thank you for explaining that. Now, if a family ever has concerns or simply wants to discuss their child's progress, what does that process look like?
Yes, well, I always welcome parent involvement because I truly believe we are partners in your child's education. If you would like to meet with me, I'd be more than happy to schedule a parent-teacher conference. To protect instructional time and ensure we have everything we need, I simply ask that conferences be scheduled in advance whenever possible. That gives me time to gather your child's classwork, assignments, assessments, behavior records, and other information so we can have a meaningful conversation focused on solutions and student growth. I never want the conference to feel rushed. I want us to lead with a clear plan for helping your scholar succeed.
That sounds wonderful. Finally, How can parents stay connected throughout the school year?
Yes, communication is one of the most important parts of a successful school year. I encourage families to reach out whenever they need something, want to know updates, concerns, questions, whatever the case may be. Open, respectful communication helps us work together to support every scholar. If something concerns you, please contact me. Many questions can be answered and many concerns can be resolved through a simple conversation. We all share the same mission, helping your child succeed. Now, as far as communication, I use school status. Text messages are very quick. I can get to you anytime, any day. Now, phone calls take a bit more effort, so that's why I prefer you to stay in the schedule of around 3:30 to 7:30ish or 8 o'clock.
And your primary way of communicating is through ClassDojo, correct?
That's right. ClassDojo will be our classroom communication headquarters. If you only check one thing throughout the school year, I hope it's ClassDojo. Through ClassDojo, you'll be able to see behavior updates and points, classroom announcements, homework assignments, study guides, and review resources, upcoming events, important reminders, photos, and classroom memories, classroom celebrations, progress trackers, and other important updates. I believe parents should never have to wonder what's going on in our classroom. My goal is to keep families informed, involved, and connected throughout the entire school year. I encourage you to check ClassDojo regularly because it will truly be our communication hub. So please make sure that all parents fill out the QR code and get in our classroom dojo for the military class 6.
I love that. Well, we've talked about your teaching philosophy, academics, homework, study guides, behavior expectations, scratchwork, conferences, and communication. Is there anything you'd like to say before we close?
Well, Miss Fiona, first I'd like to thank you as well as all the parents for taking the time to watch this video and hear me out. Thank you. It really means a lot that you've chosen to invest your child's education before the school year even begins. My promise to every family is simple. I will teach with excellence. I will communicate honestly. I will challenge every scholar to grow. I will celebrate their successes, and I will never stop believing in their potential. In return, I simply ask for your partnership. Encourage your scholar to complete their homework, study their notes, their study guides, show their scratch work. Come to school ready to learn and give their very best each day. Together, I truly believe we can make this an unforgettable year of learning, growth, and success. Welcome to the Military Class 6. One team, one mission, one goal. God bless you all, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks again, Miss King. I am truly excited for what the year may bring. Thanks again, family, for joining us for this special Meet the Teacher episode. If you haven't already, be sure to join our ClassDojo classroom, complete your student information forms, and stay connected as we begin an exciting school year together. Until next time, mission briefing complete. Welcome to the Military Class 6.